The Blackrock ETF disappears just as quickly as it came about. We have some massive news coming out about BlockFi. And are we about to get a pro-crypto house leader? Is this the time for the super cycle? All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there, but if we do, that's kind of where we
What's up? Welcome one, welcome all to the Blockchain Basement. It's a fantastic, volatile, freaky Tuesday morning. We have a very special guest joining us today. How you doing, Josh? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing fantastic, man. Been a good day. Been hosting the streams. You know, it wasn't so fantastic though when we found out that Blackrock played us today. So
yeah, it's a little
that was
weird.
Unfortunate.
Little weird,
Yes.
little weird. Lots of major pumps happening after slight ETF news. Be interesting to find out if the SEC maybe called iShares and kind of let them know maybe to hold off until it's fully operational. BJ, you're joining us. You're back. You were on vacation. How you been? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Oh, God. I don't know. I can't say anything. I went to a burn.
You went to a burn.
We'll just put it like that.
Okay.
I was in
Okay.
the woods.
What
for
the type
days.
of man?
It's the regional Burning Man, essentially.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
So
There used to be them in Colorado called Apogea. So I dated a gal that was a fire burner. I was the safety guy. Imagine that. So
holding that Duvatine.
yeah, holding the Duvatine. Hannah, how's the week start? Well, you're in Tuesday, but how are you doing today? Watching all the craziness in the Bitcoin prices. Got you excited? Are you waiting to buy until we get a correction? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm not making any moves right now. I'm gonna wait a little bit, pay attention, see what happens. But it's been fun. It has not been boring.
Oh, so you're ready to miss out.
Oh my God.
Shots
Never that. Never
Oh
that.
my God. Arc Junkie, yes. There's been some crazy news today. Man, this world is just moving at 100 miles an hour, isn't it? But thank you for joining us, everyone in the chat. Catch them all. What's up, dude? Mario Cantanis, Shake and Bake, Meanless, what's up? Nicole Minus, C90FTW, Manawak and Crimson Caravan Company, and Fad. What is that? Faden Tradfi?
Fading that TradFi.
Fading that Tradfi. I like
Fading
that name.
traditional finance.
Our members have the best names, and I think that they change them to make them more difficult for me to say each day. But they're the best. They're the savages that have been here since just before the major collapse in Bitcoin down to 15K, and we've been doing great so far. But I appreciate everyone's support on the Rumble channel. I am going to start posting more on this one. I just got focused on this thing this week. We almost got 100 viewers, a couple hundred views on each video, so we're cooking along, moving that along. But, you know, the crypto market having a little bit of a sneeze today. We'll get into the news of why here in a minute, but sitting here at 33,646. We had a really great, thanks for joining us on that emergency press conference last night. That was awesome. Were you in an airport or something? Or
Yeah, got on the flight as soon as I heard the markets were going parabolic, and I was like, we're going to Atlanta. But no, I just got off the flight and got settled in the place and was like stoked because Bitcoin, one, it hit an amazing price target we were looking for, but ultimate, dude, it went up 35K almost. Like that's 12% on Bitcoin's price. When's the last time we've seen that? It was like, it was a good moment.
Parabolic. I mean, and you know, where I'm thinking here is, you know, we have total capability to come back down to the 30K level. But in general, I feel like if we hold above 30K, that's just another stair stepper down. I'm sticking to my thesis that these are the two double bottoms that we've experienced recently. So just kind of re-solidifying my opinion on them. But in general, I think we're just going to have some chop, maybe a little bit of push down here, have to hang out, and then we'll be off to the races right around the halving time frame. There's been a lot of movers. I know I brought up Thorchain in our Crucial Crypto newsletter a while ago, honestly. It's one of the top movers. Something great that TJ pointed out was a lot of the top movers are DEXs, perpetual DEXs. We have Injective, DYDX, but then Pepe poking his little froggy face above the water. Conflux, and Mina. Mina is one. I was like, I lost like 5% on my trade with Mina. I got in way too early. I think I got in like right around here and then got out before the big, correction. But in general, look at this chart from Mina. My God, this is absolutely disgusting. This is an absolute move here. So shout out to anyone that was paying attention to DZ and Taco. I know that they were talking about it basically this whole way, and even before the big pump. It's going to be an interesting one to watch in the next bull market. I definitely think like things are kind of building up. Where do you think we are? Like, I like this chart, the Wall Street cheat sheet. This is from Value and Time. Where do you guys think we're at? Like, is this the disbelief type rally point? Or, are you feeling like we're somewhere here in this anger phase with still more leg down to go? What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say right now because we're moving based off so much FOMO into this market off the spot ETF announcements. And obviously we're clearly seeing that that's highly manipulative, as we just saw the Clearhouse definitely get deleted today, which is awkward, right? Like, why is that? How is that? Why did no other single one on there get deleted? So it brings into some questions. So I don't necessarily believe we're quite in disbelief yet. I think we would be in disbelief, or if we're at like the 45, 50K, and you're going to have all the, everybody's going to be saying, no, we're not going to go back down. We're going to go back down. We're going to go back down. It just keeps moving forward. So to be honest, I still think we're actually part of this depression cycle. I think we're just, historically we get Santa's rally. We move into November. We had all of our corporate earnings coming out this month. So it's like there was some bullish action into that as the dollar drops in value. So I don't necessarily know if it's disbelief yet. I'm kind of on Hannah's terms over here, where it's kind of just sitting back and letting the market breathe. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, are institutions buying behind the scenes, or is Larry Fink, did he hire the person at Cointelegraph that wanted to make the leak just to see how the market would test itself? I don't know. You know?
There's some jokes maybe that they had hired that intern, that made that accidental Cointelegraph tweet.
You gotta get your exit liquidity somehow.
I know, and they're playing games with it.
We're still seeing 19.7 before the end of the year.
Well, this ticker for the Blackrock spot ETF, IBTC, it was removed from the DTCC website. The website actually is down itself. Very interesting kind of development in the situation. It makes me wonder, like in the back of my mind, when I saw it get pulled off of that, I was wondering maybe the SEC made a quick phone call and was like, hey, let's probably take that down for the time being. It's a potential. But yeah, do you think that there's like I know we think, or what I've heard from BJ, and I don't discount it, is that BlackRock's going to try to find some unrealized losses before this spot ETF goes live to get the best entry point possible, potentially arbitraging the market downwards. In general,
if you look at like BlackRock and everybody who's got like a bunch of money, and again, I'm bringing up the housing market because that's a traditional thing between housing market, 10-year bonds, and everything else, is we're coming to a place where the 10-year bond rate is above that of the cap rate. Yeah. Therefore, all these commercial real estate purchasers or investors are going to have to dump. So you probably want to keep the price of Bitcoin down so you have time to dump all those real estate properties, then get in on Bitcoin, and then get into prior to the ETF. But that gives us time, again, for unrealized losses before the end of the year, with hopefully commercial real estate in a sense, but also getting your profit, then buying in at the beginning of the year. So no, I still think we drop down to 19.7, and then BlackRock and everybody else accumulates more between the very end of this year and then probably we'll say February of next
Let me
year.
ask you a question, push back on this. So do you think they might actually have enough unrealized losses already in the stock market?
It's feasible, but the other thing as well is if traditional finance, like residential real estate, commercial real estate, and everything else is not as profitable, landlords are not able to get the money that they were used to. Bonds are starting to look weird, where you have the 10-year treasuries, the 5-year treasuries, and 30-year treasuries all going up, but not at a sustainable rate. Question is, do all those people move into Bitcoin because they need some kind of new asset class? Yeah. And I think the answer is yes, but I don't think that really starts happening until the beginning of the year.
Well, let's riff on this bond aspect. I mean, I know it is a very weird situation. I'm glad to have Josh and BJ here to read over this kind of pile of information on where the bond market really is right now. Just to get a quick grasp of this, I know this is going to be kind of dense, so I'll try to go over it as fast as possible. But basically, we're looking at the worst bond bear market in history right now. This is highlighting in 1950, long-term U.S. government bonds were yielding a little more than 2%. By the end of the decade, they hit 4.5, and yields jumped to 6.9 by the end of the 60s, and then up to 10% by the end of the inflationary levels that we saw in the 1970s. So basically, in over 30 years, bonds went from 2% to 15%. And you would assume this would make it crash, right? But no, it did not make it crash. Long-term bond performance wasn't great, that's for sure, but returning just 2.2% per year. Between the 50s and 80s, there wasn't a crash like we're seeing today. In fact, the worst calendar year return for long bonds in this period was 1967, when they actually fell by 9%. So a pretty sizable move. We'll move along to kind of our current situation. Just showing this chart from DataTrek showing that the crash in long-term bonds is now roughly the same magnitude as the crashes in the stock market during the dot-com bust, when we had blowjobs and jobs.
Please don't use my name in vain.
I'm sorry. And then the great financial crisis right here. So these are kind of separated that way. You have the blue line being the kind of dot-com, or more so the dot-com bust. The orange is the housing crisis, and then our current situation is in the gray. One thing I find interesting is just how this is more of a long-term, longer tail of pain and downward action for bonds. We also have this is still true for 10-year treasuries as well. Bank of America says that this is the worst bear market in the benchmark bond ever. This is just showing, date of market peak 7/31 of 2020. We're at peak to through performance at negative 24%. So these things have not been making good returns for banks across the country that have large portions of their, solvency wrapped up in these bonds to keep the just the Ponzi scheme of the US dollar moving. I actually had to look up what happened from 1835 to 1839 that caused a 56-month bear market in bonds. Apparently, President Andrew Jackson made it his goal to pay off the national debt in the United States in its entirety. It led to the biggest financial crisis in American history, and the economy cratered 33%. So that was just some kind of fun historical notion on this situation right here. We have the iShares 20-year Treasury bond ETF, and then the iShares 20-year Treasury bond total return price kind of compared. So this is assets under management is continuing to shrink, and the total return price is continuing to grow because they're trying to invite new liquidity because they need it. Money has been flowing into the fund during the crash, and investors have been wrong trying to catch the bottom here, or a top in rates, I should say, but that makes sense in the context of the interest rates. Rates on bonds are higher now than they've been since 2007, almost across the board. So basically, I just look at this as a train's rolling down the track. Obviously, they've been doing some misdeeds with the maintenance on the wheels, and this thing is starting to fall apart as they're going faster and faster and faster, increasing our debt heavier and heavier and heavier, and pushing even more and more war. So I don't know. I mean, what is your take on this current situation? Like, Josh, are aliens going to eat our dogs over this? Like, is this the end of the economy as we know it? Is this what Peter Schiff has been talking about?
Well, for one, you have to define alien, okay?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. But two, well, if you guys get that one, that might have been a little rough.
That was a deep cut.
No,
that was a deep cut.
The fungal kingdom. Panspermia, but whatever.
But so, with the bond market, it's interesting. I mean, what do we expect? We're printing money endlessly. So, it's only a matter of time before all of the loans that we've been given out for the last 50 plus years after, obviously, the world wars. It's like, okay, well, where is this going to end up for these futures economies? And this is where you're getting this huge conversation around, okay, how much higher is the dollar going to go? Are we going to drop from here? And it really just all depends on inflation. Are we going to get another interest rate hike, coming out of November or December? Is inflation going to be stickier than expected? Yes. And you'll notice, I agree with that statement 100%, is like, okay, there's so many things happening geopolitically now. Look at what's taking place in our house right now. They're trying to get budgets passed for more funding to proxy wars that we can't afford, even though Janet Yellen wants to argue that, since we can't even manage our own deficits in the United States. So, watching what's taking place in the oil basin, what's happening in Ukraine, the tensions that are taking place with Taiwan and China and the semiconductors and everything, to the bond market and that overflowing, it's, I don't believe the US dollar is going to go anywhere. I'm very pro US dollar, but over and over and over again, if we print more and more money, we've printed $9 trillion since 2020 COVID, right? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's, that's not something that's feasible. That's not something that's healthy for any market condition. Inflation is 100% artificial.
How much do you think they're going to print in 2024 COVID?
Wow, they're gonna have
Bullish.
to. How long do we have? I think we have 6 months till we have to pay like the 6 months to a year before it's $1.25 trillion in our interest debts alone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
so
interest is well outpacing our GDP.
They have
at
to
this
print
point.
at least that. And so, those are the things you have to look into. It makes me incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, but unfortunately, this bond market's going to get worse before it gets better.
Things are happening. But the bright side is this graph right here. Is original source Dylan LeClaire. This is from Bitcoin News, resharing it.
God, every time you say his name, it makes me hungry.
Does it really? Oh, because you like LeClaire's.
What's the name?
Leclerc? Oh, it's Dylan Leclerc.
Well, this is Bitcoin denominated in U.S. Treasury bonds, and we are closing the gap. We are actually, the funny part about this, these are the two peaks of the last bull market, and we are, in terms of Treasury bond value, nearly returns
That's
to
terrible.
the all-time high. Isn't that fun? Isn't that just a good time for everyone? But that's what I kind of like it. Thinking about it, Bank of America, they're at a 130% FHLB rating right now. They owe 130% of what they're worth. These underwater securities and the mortgage and commercial real estate, like BJ was mentioning, this is all compounding
All the
on the
people
Fed.
are probably about to lose all their jobs because of the layoffs that are coming that nobody's talking about. Somebody earlier in the chat was like, there's not enough liquidity for people to sell their Bitcoin for the price to drop down to 19.7. Yeah, there is.
There's
a lot of people are
Never
going
discount
to be
that.
screwed.
Yeah, that's not the
Foreclosures are going out the ass. People are going to need money. Now, the question is how much money and liquidity is still in dumb traders, if you will. So,
Or really, how many
the normal people?
How many people that are currently getting evicted have a Bitcoin bag too?
be interested?
I think that number is very low.
I would agree, but that's a number I would love to actually see.
Yeah, I don't think that that's going to hurt us. Yeah, I don't think that the
Can we
average
lobby
Bitcoin
for that to be a
wallet-
requirement? Can we get that passed?
That'd be dope.
Add that in.
That'd take a while.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of really interesting things happening. I also pulled this. Is that Kelly behind the TV? Oh, it's Bobby. Oh my God. I'm in trouble. This is from Kelly Kellum. Profitable traders understand market cycles and have a plan. Accumulation, buy and market weakness after bear market bottoms, and large pullbacks for the opportunity zone, and sell into bullish strength. Dumb money buys hype and sells into weakness. Which are you? And so I just want to look at this. And obviously, this is not like to the T exactly. This totally looks like a nutsack right there.
I mean, Biden's chin.
Yeah. Biden. Oh, that is Biden's chin.
You're quick on that one.
That's the
I
Biden's
immediately
chin.
thought of that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's his fake wax modeled.
Yeah, his face would almost fit in that. We need to make this happen. This is research that needs to happen. But basically, this is just laying out the time frame that we have until the halving. I'm letting people know there is time to be patient and wait for a pullback because we will have them. We see this gigantic God candle that happened last night. We're going to see a little bit of pullback or at least some leveling out of the markets over the next week. This is the long-term game plan that is pretty similar to mine. We had this, break out of this extra low spot at around 15K onwards and upwards. Now, the funny part about Bitcoin's price action right here is that this was during a banking crisis in the United States. With crypto focus, we had Silvergate and Silicon Valley and First Republic all collapsed right here, and Bitcoin absolutely ripped since that time frame. It actually gained 50% value from the time of the American banking crisis in March. So now we come to here. We might be actually, kind of coming up to this time frame. I think he created this chart a long time ago, but obviously we're in October, so we're more so landing around here. So you might just, kind of consider this
that
shifted over
probably
right here.
in April. If you go down to the timeline that is conveniently there.
Yeah.
Of 2023.
Well, this is the halving.
No. I'm saying where the chart actually ends and he starts drawing his lines.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to disbelief and go vertically down,
Where's
God,
that?
you're making this too difficult.
I'm going to disbelief. Right here. You want this chart?
No, just
what are you
mind.
saying?
I tell you
The
what
moment
I want, and
passed.
you just
The
ignore
moment
me.
passed.
I'm trying to
it's
hear
gone.
you here. Where did that go? Now I'm all thrown off here.
Oh,
I need
God,
one.
you want
I
this?
need one of those charts for like something that's like weird. Is like every time I take a really big vacation, markets plummets. FTX, Silicon Valley Bank, both times when I'm on the flight, markets crash. So this was like the bullish turnover when I was coming to Atlanta. It was the first time I've ever been on a plane flight. and I landed and Bitcoin's price was up. So, take that information as you will. But
Yeah. Where is
I go on vacation another month, so
pull my
markets
screen
only good
down,
for a little
Owen.
bit
I
longer.
gotta find this tab. I got thrown off here. Let me find this thing. I gotta find Kelly's link. Screen down. Did you die on me?
Are you okay?
Are you okay, Owen? Are you all right there?
Baby got
let's
his
see
first
here.
beer and forgot how to get a bottle.
Oh yeah, I should open my beer. No,
Don't
we
tell
need
him
to
that-
open our beer.
Don't
Here
tell
it
him that
is.
one's actually non-alcoholic.
No, but there's a deal. Voodoo Ranger liked our post. So.
Really?
Is
I
it the
love
pumpkin
Voodoo
one?
Ranger. Ready?
No.
What's
I love these things. These are Dad's best friend when you're getting your ass kicked by children all day. So,
Why don't you turn around so we can see that label? We're not anti-Greeking.
oh yeah, what is that? What
There
is
we
that?
go.
I mean, it's a good
Oh.
one.
pushes it over?
Oh yeah.
Throw that
right
Chick-fil-A
there.
out.
But on this chart, I wanted to show Kelly's chart in relevance to don't get ahead of yourself and FOMO in on this gigantic green candle. I do expect some chop here. And I'll look at the Bitcoin price again. I still feel like we might be able to see. Hopefully we see 32 hold, but I would not be surprised. You keep saying that.
I
but
think we're going to go at
You
least,
say it enough times,
at
it
least-
might come true in your mind.
I think we're going at least 25% below that pump. So what? You got like the 27,000 line? Like,
Yeah.
That is not staying.
I think that
Long
we're
term,
going to
yes.
hold above.
Oh, you
this
think we're
line.
going to go back below 27?
Yes.
BJ thinks we're going to 19.7.
Yes.
Wow,
what he thinks.
under the 20K ratio.
Yeah,
Yes.
he thinks.
Yeah.
I know, and I disagree, but I hear him
That's
out.
fine. You're allowed to be wrong.
I know. Well,
That's
okay.
market speculation, as
Okay.
Hester Pierce would say.
You know what? My
I'm
TA
fine to be wrong.
This is what my TA stands for. Truly astounding.
Truly
I
astounding.
thought I meant astrology.
I don't know, BJ. I played the
No,
markets
I don't
pretty
like
damn
classic
well the
astrology.
last year and a half, or actually 4
That's what
years.
astrology
I'm
is
saving
like.
the sea turtles, bro.
I kind of warn about waiting on the sidelines for lower lows.
Oh, I
because-
didn't say I buy every single week.
Yeah,
Are y'all
I'm not
buying right
saying
now?
don't buy.
yeah.
Everybody is buying right now 30K, 33K.
I'm not buying right now.
Well,
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
I mean, yeah.
No, I'm not buying until a week from now.
But I'm buying Cardano
Why?
and Cardano alts.
You're
Like a
Cardano
smart
Maxi
person.
though.
Why are you
Are we
waiting
going to
a
talk
week?
about your Ethereum hybrid Cardano theory on today's?
It's an old
Sorry,
there.
what?
We'll come back to this.
Okay. Well, don't get caught like Capo's crew, because he had to apologize for leaving 60,000 people on the sidelines waiting for lower lows. So, oh my God, there's a dog that just came in. So we got Crypto Capo's TA Telegram message that got released today. This is from Ran. First of all, congratulations to all those that have been respectful and are profiting during this move. Recognition to those who have earned it. Secondly, for those who have followed some of my altcoin analysis, all of your altcoin analysis that you've stuck to 100% for like a long time that went wrong. Apologies for any inconvenience I may have caused. Wow. This shit drives me nuts. So I can understand the idea of keeping some dry powder on the sidelines in case you do get lower lows, but the idea of making sure to hold a inflationary ice cube in your hands as a fiat dollar in comparison and getting invested and having the chance to have your money work for you is always intrinsically idiotic in my opinion, and it's amazing to see some of people's favorite influencers out there. Oh, I never called for 10K. No, I've been calling up only. No, I knew that. I have all the experience. Completely disregarding all the other experience that people that around them had and helped build them up with that experience. Yet we have these hyperbolic influencers at the top saying, no, lower lows were in. Then it never happened. They gaslight you and say, I never said that, and get all aggressive. I think I'm going to have to do an expose video on it, on the bunker, probably a few months from now. Just a couple clips, a little bit of sips, and
That'll be
we'll get
pretty
into
easy.
it. What's that?
The classic. It might go up. It might go down.
No,
See,
dude.
I called it.
That shit drives me crazy.
50-50.
And
55.
at least I did appreciate Capo's, what do you call it? His fortitude, right? He's very,
Confident.
just headstrong, very opinion, and great. Okay, so at least you have, a focus in what your thesis is, but it definitely went the wrong direction, and now
Your
thousands of
thesis
people are on
can't go in both
sidelines.
directions. It's
It
not a
can't.
thesis.
Was the 327 million liquidated to all his followers?
Oh my God. I hope
Nice.
not, man. This is not what I want to see. This is not good. Oh my God. Bad news bears. But at least he put out the post. He's sorry. Okay. Right. Well, just don't forget what they say. Right. Have a good long-term memory. I tried to reach out to Peter Schiff last night just because I was an old gold bug. I understand being a gold bug. I get it. You think everything's broken. The financial system's going to come down on your head. Gold's going to save you, right? That's what I used to think, right? But then flu season came, and then the cooties narrative, and then the coin shortage, and then this digital CBDC system being implemented across the world, all in cohesion. And I see things a little bit different about where the financial future lies. Peter Schiff just getting called out all over the place on Twitter because he put up this post. All of you Bitcoin hodlers making fun of my post should be selling your Bitcoin instead. You can always buy it back much cheaper if you really wanted to. This suckers rally is a gift. Take advantage of the opportunity while you can. If you don't, you'll be kicking yourself later. Well, at least there's gains to be had, Peter. Okay, gold's been pretty freaking flat.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah. Click on his profile real quick.
All right, fine.
Click on his profile real quick.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Peter, how
Scroll
could
down.
you?
Let's see what a gold post, how it performs compared to a Bitcoin post. So we got your gold. Is that our Bitcoin right there? The
Let's see here. Yeah, this is the Bitcoin one.
Is he just trashing on Bitcoin right now? Is that all? I can't see his.
They don't perform very good. In comparison, they don't perform. Well, that's a pinned tweet. Let's see here. He keeps talking about Bitcoin. It's like he can't forget about it.
Is he a gold bug or is he just obsessed with
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
see, there's the gold with 500 likes. and
Look at
then
that, 500
The Bitcoin has almost 3K. 2K.
This one's just economy, and that's 840. He gets more. That's probably what he's just farming the attention.
He's focused on his engagement.
Yes, he's. God, that's what
He's got a social media girl
He's got a social media girl
telling him what to tweet.
getting all those Bitcoin simps to come in and attack him every morning.
Bitcoin's trending, Peter.
Oh my
Peter.
God. That's really what
Oh,
this,
Peter.
this is the illusion of media right here. Like, he's just,
He's a clout bug.
yeah, he's a clout bug. Perfectly said, Candle Daddy. And again, I understand where the original mindset of being a gold bug comes from. I am a heavy prepper that has a seed bank and a bunch of bullets, beans, and other tradables. But on top of that, my main focus is real estate and crypto to create those hard-sided goods, and it's worked out great for me over the last 5 years. And then we did touch on the ticker for Blackrock getting pulled off of IBTC. Going to be interesting to see if that comes back online. The website was also down. This is something that might be
like February 2nd.
February 2nd, you think? I'm going to say it now. I think that June of 2024, we leave the rocket station and we never come
Oh, no, I'm
back.
talking the ETF happening.
Yeah? You think June?
No,
Or, no, you
that's
think
way
February.
too late. I just said February 2nd.
Yeah.
You never listen to me, and we must be married.
Well, yeah, that's true. We almost are. We're like born on the same day. Weren't we? Or like one day apart. Even Bobby.
I don't feel like doxing myself like
Unbelievable. Oh my God.
that. I feel like we're in trouble whenever Bobby comes down here.
Can I get name,
pretty much
birth date,
always are.
and credit card information?
Yeah.
No, you're a very similar human. We're both anarcho-capitalists. So,
We share the same security
I
code.
mean, realists.
yeah, maybe we're clones. Oh my God. Are you like my evil Keanu Reeves clone? Bro.
No.
Is that what just...
I'm too cute to be your clone.
No, that's true. That's true. Well, this I wanted to bring up since I got Josh on the show. We just had some new news in Utah.
How do you transition from that? Well,
Uh,
I'm ready for this. I want to see what he wants to ask after
Utah
that. Yeah.
Basin, XCL Resources faces a pipeline capacity limitation in producing more natural gas than they can sell to customers. So to prevent the oil production shutdown, they partner with Crusoe Energy to test the use
Would you look at that?
of turning gas to power with Bitcoin mining. Just highlighting you can take the stranded asset, such as a group of wells without access to a pipeline, move Bitcoin mining equipment to that location, and then you use it to monetize something that would have otherwise been considered a waste product remotely without having any layout of, without having to lay that gas gathering pipeline out. And it was Keaton that highlighted this. He's one of their top engineers at the firm. Bitcoin mining has a really nice modular ability to basically monetize waste gas no matter where you're at. This is all in the background. I hate how little this is talked about. I mean, I feel like it's huge. I feel like in a few years from now, the oil and gas industry is going to absolutely rely on Bitcoin miners to lower its ESG rating to be more accepted with all these unelected bureaucrats that try to arbitrage it out of existence through monetary devices. And I see Bitcoin mining as kind of a very, it is a very green thing to do, to put it on these, oil and gas locations and capture that flare. It makes up at least, those flares in particular make up at least 1% of all emissions on the world, just out of the U.S. What do you think about this, Josh? Am I crazy for thinking that we're going to see this marriage?
I think chat. Hopefully they're ready for a bullish scenario now. I would like to pull up that monetized waste aspect there. It's kind of like Peter Schiff's 12 books that completely just didn't predict the markets. He's monetizing that waste. But
the 13th one might.
13th one is the hope. But this is huge for Bitcoin mining. This is something I've covered for a very long time. I don't think people understand this aspect of Bitcoin and proof of work. For I think as long as we can think at this point in this market, the majority of altcoins and a lot of these like tribalistic communities, they bashed on Bitcoin for its proof of work, slow technology, the mining aspect, the amount of energy consumption it actually takes. And what they don't realize is that on average, and this is going to be a nerd number right here, but the United States wastes 100 quadrillion BTUs, British thermal units, annually. That is just the United States. Now, we're not going to be able to access all of this wasted energy.
That to freedom units?
The freedom units, yeah, freedom fighters, freedom units, and I was about to make a joke, and I don't know if that would be good for stream. So
listen,
we'll keep it PG. But yeah. So for the energy though, guys, this is huge. This is a multi-trillion-dollar market that's never been able to be accessed before, and Bitcoin mining is the only option here. This is a decentralized geographical asset you can set up anywhere around the globe. It's not like gold, where it's geographically centralized per capita or per state or per country, et cetera. And those states or those countries are generally owned by a larger country, right? It gets very centralized very, very quickly. And so this is for the first time in history. It doesn't matter if you're a third world country, a second world nation, or you're Exxon or ConocoPhillips. If you're wasting a ton of energy and overproducing this gas, or it could be landfills. Literally, think about landfills in your local communities. They're creating methane emissions. They're creating greenhouse emissions. You can convert all of that excess wasted energy into a net value by converting it over to Bitcoin. And one of Satoshi's emails, this kind of is related to me ever since I first got into crypto. He was debating somebody about acting like Bitcoin was thermodynamically perverse. And what that means is Bitcoin is just essentially bad for the environment. And what he told him was that Bitcoin's utility would always far exceed the value of mining it, of the marginal cost of production, very similar to gold. So in the same sense that gold is always going to far exceed that value of the marginal cost of production, the same thing is with Bitcoin. We're able to access an industry that no other asset can, and is for that reason why I believe Bitcoin is fundamentally the greatest commodity to ever exist, because you don't only have this new access market where it's digital oil, but you also have the smart contract protocols as well as like everything being developed on top of it, and then you have the store value aspect to it. So it's the ultimate commodity.
I love it.
Whereas I wonder if how many cycles this is down the road. Right now, I would agree it's decentralized.
Yeah.
I think it will become very centralized once the cost becomes too hard. Blackrock takes over all the miners. It owns all the IP on the mining protocols. It owns all the ASIC miners. It becomes centralized. At what point can you fight that with incentives if the only incentive is getting more Bitcoin when fractions of a Bitcoin are coming out a year? So hopefully you're correct with some kind of layer 2 scaling and or smart contracts or something else. But without that, Bitcoin will fail.
Did you just become an ICP, Maxi?
No, God, no.
Dude, yeah. If you want to talk trash on Dfinity, I got all the insights for you. But no, it's a great point.
This could be 100 years down the road, but like, when do we see that? Because that, I think, needs to be asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to that point, though, that's where I piss off a lot of people saying this is decentralization's a masquerade. You cannot have decentralization in a capitalistic society where there's more money, there's more power, and there's more control.
Well, then why don't we get rid of the weaker of those two, which is the capitalistic society part?
Unfortunately, BlackRock controls that. So, our hands are tied.
I don't know. Drew and I got some paint and can know how to repel. We got this. Paint?
Oh, man.
I follow the money, and right now that says that, hey, if I can tell an oil giant, some 7-year-old CEO that's already just destroyed our world, hey, here's how you're going to increase your profit margins.
But they're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, and also, beyond everything that you guys just talked about, there was something that went under the radar all the way up until now that was released in the middle of 2022 from...
The UN bringing in digital IDs and CDBCs again?
No, it's Joe Biden. Okay, I know this is a touchy subject. Uncle Joe released this thing. His handlers put out this release. Basically, the White House and the United States government is planning to pay oil and gas firms to bring Bitcoin miners, and they're paying the Bitcoin miners to come to the oil and gas. They're incentivizing it with money, which will just increase the bottom line for companies like Riot or Marathon. And you're going to see this absolutely catch fire, in my opinion, over the next bull market. Like the craziest scenario I can think of in my mind is that we actually get a spot ETF next year and we see a marriage with oil and gas. June, we go to the moon, 2024. I'm saying it now. You can clip it when it happens, but we're going to see some absolutely fireball news releases come about the proof of power and energy spent with Bitcoin in capturing methane, but then also...
Well, why would there be a fireball if you're properly catching it and we're using it for mining?
Because I'm like Goku.
Because we wouldn't be fireballing it. We'd be using it. You missed the entire point of harvesting that.
We're harvesting the energy.
Oh my God, BJ. Are we going to the moon or are we going to die, BJ? Is this hell or is this heaven? Unbelievable.
We're ripping.
I
think by June we'll definitely be in a happy place. Like, no matter how much we argue with what's up and what's down currently, but if you buy now, you're not going to be pissed in June.
Yeah.
I'm
Either
very
way.
confident.
Should you buy now or should you wait?
How much are you putting? And that's the funny thing
you're
when people are
not
like, "Oh,
in-
wait for it to go down." Well, how much are you investing? $100. That makes no difference.
Yeah.
That makes literally no difference.
It'll be worth, half that in 2 years when we print all the money. So
Yeah, it's just buy now.
What is your opinion of ICP? Because I made a good profit in the accumulation market getting in and out of ICP. I got in at $3, out at $7. Josh, is ICP dead?
You're asking me this.
I'm asking you this.
I was hoping to ask a BJ.
I saw your opinion.
So,
I want it.
Yeah, Internet Computer Protocol has some of the best tech in the game. I mean, their engineers have taught me just a disgusting amount. And if you've ever used a website or something on there, their reverse gas models and the functionality of the network is insane. It's light years ahead of most of the things being built in crypto. With that said, their foundation sucks. Dfinity. I'm looking at you right now, me and you, Dominic, right here. Your grant program is the most trash program I've ever seen created out of any network. And that comes worse than Solana's, who's obviously their investors are about to see some jail time. So where they lack the issue is Dfinity wanting complete control over the development and growth of the ecosystem. They don't want to decentralize it in that aspect. Now, the technology, again, great. But the incentivization, the marketing, and the development has been lackluster for quite some time. And so I would like to see that fixed. And they know this. I'm very adamant about this. And I know a lot of the people at that team. But for example, when I went to Bitcoin Miami this year, they had a team of probably 10 individuals out there that they financed a decent amount of money. And by the time they got out there, they didn't want to pay me or my other friend that was with me down at the time that came down and spoke at their conference. But they had no marketing plan to execute for Bitcoin Miami and how they're going to give away all of this Bitcoin, how they're going to get user acquisition for their new products and stuff. And so when I see that and I see a dysfunctional marketing team, unfortunately, when it is in the crypto industry, it doesn't matter if your project's trash. For example, Solana breaks down once a week. Like no hate to Solana holders because Solana is probably going to pump more than a lot of tokens. If I had to choose Solana over Cardano, I would choose Solana just because it's going to pump a little bit more because it's a way smaller market cap.
BJ,
right?
are you okay?
Charles Hoskinson, though, GOAT. He's like the Steve Jobs of crypto. I think he's great at community development. Every time I see him speak live, it's like there's this community development that's just taking place. Like you're just a part of it. And so, that is a huge part of the crypto scene. That's a huge part of a successful industry that's going to incentivize builders to develop on top of it. And, those are kind of my thoughts. So unfortunately, hopefully, again, I would like ICP to pump their CKBTC integration, their native integration, a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
But they lack in the marketing side.
I like the canister smart contracts coming to Bitcoin, having that little, even if it's a narrative push, right? Cardano. Oh,
well, here's a thing. Bob from Accounting says, so buy now and keep DCAing until June. What would be a really fun chart to do. So do whatever you want, but do keep in mind that capital gains you have to hold for over a year. If the top of the bull market usually happens a year after the halvening, halvening's roughly in April, you probably want to do most of your buying before then.
Yeah.
If you want to fall out of capital gains.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, okay, well, Bitcoin might drop, so I might be able to buy like 15% more. But when you buy that 15% more, you fall into the 40% capital gains tax. Like you do have to kind of think about how all that is actually going to work.
And BJ, really quick, because I see that Skids comment right there where he said
Which
ADA's unused. Isn't Cardano one of the most developed networks right now? Has the most developer activity?
I don't know if it is the highest.
It's up there though.
It
I
is
think
up
a lot
there.
of those stats are super skewed. Like even as the maxi, I'm not going to sit here and say, but like again, if you hop on CardanoCube.io and look at everything that's in there, if you hop on something like Tap Tools, like if you grab my screen real quickly, it's a single button. It's really easy to do.
Owen, are
Second
you
screen.
alive or are you dead?
But like you have this entire ecosystem that you could be
That's so sick.
checking out, which is super fun. And like I recommend looking at a lot of these, like AGIX, like World Mobile Token, everything that they're doing with that. Lenfi has been ripping. And a lot of these lower cap coins that are there, but like the EUTXO model and everything else are very much so done. If you look at the amount of volume that has moved. So anybody who's saying there's nothing going on in this ecosystem, that's fine. Like you can choose to be ignorant of it.
Yeah.
But is it the most developed? That I'm not positive on at all. A lot of people who say it's too hard to code in, look at Marlowe's Playground. Look at all the Aiken things that are going on. Like they do exist.
And I think Ajax is a great save. I mean, it's not safe. You
And
don't go to
Hunt's
all
been super
coins.
cool. Like what Hunt is doing with all the dexes and
Yes.
the aggregation and all that's been phenomenal. Like I've super
Also, I
enjoyed
saw
that.
a question here. A fella in the chat had 7K to deploy right here, right now, fiat currency. What do you do? All right, so let's go around the horn.
Well, we have to ask them questions first.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got 7K to deploy right
How
here.
long are you planning on holding for?
I mean, you would hope it.
What do
let's
you
just
expect?
assume intelligence.
You can't assume.
All right,
You need to ask.
All right, let us know in the
Like-
chat how long how soon you plan on getting out of these positions you're planning on building.
Like if
But
they're like, I
if
want
I had
100.
7, I'm just going to riff on it and just assume
Yeah.
he's going into the bull market.
But if they're saying I want 100x in a month,
That's
I
not
say you
happening.
take $50 and put
Get
it in
out.
a bunch of just BS Shinu Ibu
Yeah.
like Sonic
Art
Bitcoin
coins.
Yeah.
and just hope to hit one.
yeah.
But if you want to be logical,
If I had 7K and I wasn't exposed to crypto at all right now,
Wait, someone said 7K specifically?
7K. Oh,
Interesting number.
Yeah, I would probably be looking at Quant. I'd be looking at Ajax. I'd be looking at Avalanche. I'd be looking
Got a
at
singularity shout out? Nice.
I would be also looking at, those are the ones that I'm like feeling really great about. Chainlink, I'd wait for $9.50 a token, maybe $9. A little bit of pullback, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think if you're building from 7K, you're going to want a more aggressive portfolio to really change your life. That's just what I would do in that situation. And I mean, we don't have to just look at crypto to change our life, because as we know, companies on the traditional markets that are exposed like Chainalysis or Ripple are going to absolutely rip over the next few years as the bull market just absolutely magnetizes all the attention back to it, because people can't stop staring at the gains while their banks collapse. It's just the way the world works. I'm sorry. So make sure to check out in our description a link to this gives you access to investments in Ripple, Chainalysis, all of that good stuff. I am going to be doing a video just going through the whole process, but the main point here is that they cut out the massive minimum need of $100,000 to invest out of the gates. They have this funding round. You can get invested for a minimum of $5,000. So make sure to check out our sponsor in the description. They keep it going. Absolutely fantastic partners for the channel. So huge shout out to them. Now,
speaking of banking,
What's that?
apparently we're going to have a science lesson and learning what phagocytosis means.
why are you doing this to me?
So if you bring up my screen,
Oh my God.
so these are the big banks.
Are you flooding my tooth bags?
These
here?
are the big banks. Here's the little bank, and they're going to get nom 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 nom.
Big bank take little
Yeah,
bank.
that's basically banking phagocytosis is coming.
I mean, well,
Put it in
okay,
your bag.
that's accurate, BJ. All right, but so this brings up a great question. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's an ongoing thing, right? So the levels of what banks owe is starting to exceed what their liquidity is. We see Bank of America
Is that
right at
true,
the-
though?
I mean, their FHLB ratings show it to be so.
Yeah, but if the fractional reserve became 0%, they have zero liabilities and don't have to hold anything. So being 130% over doesn't actually mean they're over, because they didn't have to hold anything to start with.
You dirty
Drop in the
dog.
mic.
Dirty
saying.
dog. How dare you?
It's a rigged system.
It is a rigged system. But, we saw some banks. I was wondering, just looking at as the dust has settled, maybe they let Silvergate and Silicon Valley collapse because of their crypto friendliness. Maybe as part of the overall Operation Choke Point 2.0. Continuing to punish banks that are becoming mingled with cryptocurrency and instead of dying with the rest of mid-sized regional banks as they hold these underwater securities. But we had a little gleam of hope come about for a House Speaker, this highly contested situation with the Speaker of the House going on Capitol Hill. And basically what we got going on right now is the House is in its 21st day without a Speaker of the House, officially entering its third week without a formal leader as chaos and uncertainty continues to roil the loyal chamber. So far, the last two Speaker nominees, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Republican out of Louisiana, and House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan. I don't know about Jim Jordan. I think I don't know. I mean, I want to like him, but,
He's never passed a bill in his life.
yeah, I mean, he really hasn't gotten much
Literally.
done. You know what he can do? He can wrestle. That guy can
can-
wrestle.
He can generate hype. I
Yeah.
think he's one of the 2016 politicians where Trump changed the game and now made politics a reality TV show.
He was a state champ as a sophomore.
Wait,
in
I
wrestling.
have a relevant meme for us.
All right, you got a relevance?
Is it another tooth one?
Let's see it.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Share that screen.
Zoom in of
Owen.
Biden's chin.
You're keeping him on his toes.
One of these two Kevins successfully defended their house.
Oh, that is hard. That is hard.
Down.
Kevin.
Oh my
Wow.
God! Pour some liquor out
Wait,
for
who are
Kevin
we talking about? Who's
McCarthy.
the champion?
Oh my
The
God!
head of the Senate committee?
Jim Jordan.
Jim Wait, is that the one who's like was like
He's got like a very square.
103-1 in state champion wrestling?
Yeah, he was a nasty
Yeah.
wrestler.
But he's the head of the House something committee.
Yeah, he's a House Judiciary Committee
Yeah.
chair. So
I like him a lot.
yeah, I mean, he's been good. I think I like Tom Emmer more because he's been so aggressive about separating what a CBDC is from crypto. I think that he's been kind of the best person in Congress to help paint that picture that they're two very, very different things. And I really like Tom. I really hope that he gets his position here, the leader of the House. Trump allies have been working against Emmer for days, while former president himself, more low-key publicly, but not anymore. So this is more arbitrage politically. Honestly, man, like I don't need just some Trump maxi. If I have a crypto maxi or a Trump maxi that I got to choose from, I'm choosing the crypto
I don't want
maxi.
any maxi.
Yeah,
Be
I want a
Buddhist.
crypto maxi.
It's the
though.
middle way.
The middle.
Yes.
There is no middle way. Peace
Compromising.
is never an
Hey,
option.
BJ, I'm sorry. Compromising doesn't exist in Congress.
That's not
I
compromise.
don't want peace. I want problems. Always.
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 My way or the highway.
Yeah, we need to add the throw mama from the train, Owen.
Yeah,
and
we
get on the
should.
soundboard.
We really should. If you guys heard us in the studio looking for Owen, man, it is a frightening situation. So yeah, we have that going on. We also had some news about BlockFi. This is developing, unconfirmed but brand new information. BlockFi is successfully emerging from bankruptcy.
So hearsay. That is the most polite way of saying hearsay.
Hearsay.
Unconfirmed.
They beat
No,
Celsius.
I got the email from
You
them,
did?
like officially,
CBJ.
right before this.
Sure.
I was in the kitchen, and they said that they've come back quicker than most crypto companies, and it was a very polite email.
Crypto
AKA
Hound
their,
war news.
Their high leverage trading on the back end, worked, survived the bear market.
Hell yeah.
Now they're good to go. They're back and better than ever.
I got some war news for you. We're moving a battalion of warships over to actually get in distance of Iran.
Mediterranean,
So we're
yes.
getting ready for a multi-front confrontation, and they're
don't know if
serving
they're-
lobster and steak on the Navy vessels, meaning this
The worst
might
part
be
is all those
your last
beautiful,
go.
one-of-a-kind Porsches that are in some of those underground bunkers. Wait, no, those will survive. Never mind.
Oh my God.
As long as the cars survive.
BJ, something bad's gonna happen. I know that we joke about all their goods that they have, but if we let this thing continue to go into an actual World War III and we see city centers turn into mushroom clouds, what good's a Porsche underground if there's no gas stations? What good is a credit card if you have people beating your head in for a Bic lighter. There is really no value in all of this stuff. So I like to use my crypto for real estate. Maybe I'm going to buy an alligator and then more guns. You know what I mean? And maybe a technical, like a nice Toyota Hilux with a 50 cal. You want to grow some potatoes?
Real talk?
All right. You want to grow?
Potatoes seem dope to grow.
You should come over to my house. We should grow some potatoes.
Make some good spuds.
You like some spuds? Yeah. Let's get it going.
Buds are nice.
Are you getting the crocodile for protection? It's like a guard.
Well, first I have to dig a moat. So that was the first process. I had a city water leak happening in front of my forest. So what I did is I took a pickaxe and I started digging my own trench to capture the city water. And this is after years of complaining to the city that the water was leaking. And they only decided to show up when they realized I was about to capture thousands of gallons of clean city water.
I feel like if I followed you around, it would be like a hybrid show between Duck Dynasty and the Trailer Park Boys.
It's very true.
Like, that's your sitcom.
It's very true.
And I will watch it.
It's very true. You know, shout out
He just
to
needs
the
the
Trailer
ear,
Park.
you know? But that's the mixture. That's the mixture of the trailer park.
The shithawks are flying low. You know, the Trailer Park Boys is the best thing ever. We also shout out to Vumio. They came out with an awesome. I think Vumio is getting ready to release. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to make a full screen. You ready for this, Owen?
It's like Tron.
This is exactly like Tron.
It's nothing like Tron. Daft Punk did an amazing job with that album.
Yeah. Well, I kind of see the intro with it, but oh my goodness, I haven't seen that in so long.
Pretty excited for him, man. Looks like they're coming out soon. What I really like about what they've been trying to do is just incorporate a bunch of different chains that can access different NFTs. So pretty excited to see this come out. Oh my God, it's playing again. Jesus.
That's going to be stuck in your head now.
You know what was stuck in my head?
Don't want to know.
Don't stop believing. That was stuck in my head. Yeah, Rush. Is that Journey? Was that?
Don't play fool. You know that's Journey.
I mean, I had a feeling it was Journey this morning when it came into my head out of nowhere.
Journey is
You just can't stop the feeling?
I can't stop the feeling, man. I had excitement going on after last night, and just being in crypto.
Number 5 is on the way.
This is the fun in crypto, though. So, I mean, I know that the last few days have been super, super, super exciting. We have to remember to breathe and let time for the markets to correct. This thing, Bitcoin, still hanging out right around $33,800, but don't be surprised if it comes back down to these levels. That already happened. Bobby is going to hurt me someday.
Ugh.
He's going to really hurt me someday. Oh, yes. Make sure.
We're at 87 likes right now. We got 226 people watching. Can you guys hit the likes, please?
Go ahead. Let's do it.
Do it for Drew.
Yes, do it for me.
Do it for the
And
Drew.
no, I will never wear Gucci. Ever wear Gucci. I will never wear any bullshit, overpriced, slave labor garbage. That is absolutely the epitome of what's wrong with society, is paying $800 for a t-shirt that someone in slave labor made.
Did you pay $100 for a Tensor ring?
No,
Like
they're like
3 cents in copper.
They're like $10, BJ. Okay, bring down the man. They made $10 twisting copper for me. I'm so sorry.
You mean the slave labor children did it?
Oh my God, no! It was
Wasn't there like a $500 Nike shoe just on the counter earlier?
Oh yeah.
Let's
Did we pull that out?
talk
Let's
about
check this
that.
Look at this thing. Dude,
Yeah,
good
about
reminder.
that.
Look
Yeah.
at this thing. Look at this thing. This
Pretty
is
sure that has
cool.
something to do with nets
Look
and
at
tall
this thing.
buildings. I don't know.
This is Johnny's though.
Bush's
This is not
9/11.
mine. Johnny, our top researcher, he got
Oh, yeah.
these.
Barn door. Got
These
it.
are
Overpriced sneakers,
Look at Owen.
baby.
He's
Yeah.
on this. He's on this. This is not a JPEG. I really,
What
really
is a
think these are
JPEG?
cool. A JPEG? Well, that's Japanese weird.
Is that what Caroline
position.
did to Sam?
Oh my God. Only in Japan. Okay.
Ew, stop.
What did Caroline do to say?
She JPEG'd him.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that wood nip meme? Like where it's like with her nose?
Oh, dude, there's been so many memes.
Goodness.
I feel
his highs stay at all.
they got memed to death.
Yeah.
Like they're like underground and they're still being memed into the surface, like the Earth's crust almost at this point. So
I mean, $8 billion
You mean
worth of
Agartha?
memes is a lot of worth. You know, that's a lot of memes.
it's worth a lot. What you got, BJ?
I said, you mean in Agartha?
No, my God. I really, I hope they find a polycule in prison. That's what I hope for. Now, other stuff. We had some good stuff come
What,
out
you
from
mean a brick
XRP.
with 3 holes?
Oh God.
Is that the prison polycule?
Oh, please. I mean, the prison polycule is not a crypto-friendly subject matter to dig into, Mr. BJ. There's very salacious details that we're going to leave out. But on the last thing we'll cover today, judge drops charges against Ripple executives, even more charges being dropped. I still believe there's one more thing to be decided in this. But as of yesterday, a U.S. district judge signed an order officially dismissing the SEC charges against Ripple's top executives, Brad Garlinghouse and Kristen Larson. For some context, this would be the lead story usually over the last year.
What's that last sentence say? It says 6 years since all-time highs, still no price action.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I read that on there.
It's been painful, Josh.
Hey, I'm gonna hold it too, man. I'm gonna hold it too.
And you know what?
Been through it all.
The whole I bought it there's so much there was a lot of overlap initially with central bank interns or people that work there that went to work for Ripple. And then what was that lady that's on our $100 bill that's on the board for Ripple? What's her name? Rosie Rios. Yes. So there's some cool conspiratorial connections, and then Ripple being used by Volante in the Fed now, blah, 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 blah. But the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's why I'm sticking to holding XRP. I know that it's been arbitrage for years on end now, and I really, I want to stick it to the man by buying a tank with my XRP profits. That's where I'm looking to do. Because guess what? CBDCs are coming, but it's going to take people that are sovereign to stop them from being enforced. So yes, we can make a gad of money over the next bull market, but you better stack some tanks. You better stack some land. You better stack some real world value. Sell your stats, buy some land. That's what I would say. The stats or sats are great for playing in the markets, but you cannot live inside of a Bitcoin. So with that being said, just know we're in the very beginning of this transformation of wealth. It's not going to be easy. They're going to be pissed. And they don't like to see the middle class winning. So expect arbitrage. Expect this not to be easy path forward. Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope I didn't get too worked up on everyone here. Me and BJ got some things to work out after the stream.
I'm going to go burn all the cash in my wallet.
Are you?
So yeah.
Really?
I feel like I don't need it anymore.
Don't do that. I need to recover. TJ hired this personal trainer that's trying to murder all of us at the end of every day, and my God, I am sore. I haven't done that level of workouts in a long time. I think since Muay Thai, and that was like 6-7 years ago. So I'm dying, but I'll be back tomorrow with hopefully more exciting news. Hopefully we do hold these levels and continue to move forward in the markets. But if you see a big pullback, buy the blood, even if it's your own. And until next time, I appreciate you for joining us. Any parting thoughts, boys and girls?
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo. All right.
Mwah.
We'll see you later.